Alrighty guys, so after you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the description down below and check out the Innovation Yu-Gi-Oh! Amazon page for all of your Yu-Gi-Oh! needs. What's going on everyone? So in today's video, I'm going to be going over how to beat the Trickstar deck in my new episode of the Beating series. So if you guys have not seen it already, I did a how to play the Trickstar deck video where I went over an in-depth analysis of how the Trickstar deck is played and what to expect coming out of the deck. If you guys have not seen that video, you can click the icon above here to check the video out at a later time or after the video. So as I was telling you guys, without further ado, let's begin. Starting out by saying the Trickstar deck, as you guys already know if you watched my first video, is very good on searching and mainly revolves around burning your opponent to death. So with that being said, the deck has a lot of good cards that can take care of it in the form of hand traps. The three best hand traps to fight against the Trickstar deck right now is currently Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Haniwata, and in my opinion something cute to run or funny to run is Gora's Emissary of Darkness. Now Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring has three effects as you guys already know. I'm just going to read them to you one more time. It can negate adding cards from the deck to your hand. It can negate special summons from the deck. It can negate sending deck cards from the deck to the graveyard. The main ability that you're going to be using from Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring is the searching ability, because you stop the Trickstar Candia, and you can stop the Trickstar field spell from searching out the Trickstar monsters to give you a hard time. Then we have the two over here, Haniwata and Gores, which focuses around the burning aspect of the Trickstars. Haniwata specifically helps you out against the Trickstar if they go first, pass, and try to hit you with triple reincarnation, and burn you about 4,000 or 5,000 if they set up a field of the Trickstar Lycaris. So if you discard the Haniwata on your turn, you can prevent yourself from receiving any effect damage from this turn, saving yourself the hefty on average 3,000 to 4,000 life points, and it can get you out of jams in general. And not to mention it's a tuner, which is a plus, so for all you synchro players out there, Haniwata is just something good to have on the side. Now why I like Gores is because it's an old school cards that can help you out in a lot of sticky situations. Gores Emissary of Darkness effect pretty much reads: when you take damage from a card in your opponent's possession, you can special summon this card from your hand. You must control no cards to activate and resolve this effect. If special summoned this way, activate the appropriate effect based on the type of damage. Effect number 1, battle damage. When you take battle damage from opponent's monster and you control no monster, special summon Gores out, bring out a token whose attack and defense are equal to the original damage that you took. Now, with Gores, you're going to abuse the second effect, which pretty much says the effect damage. So when your opponent hits you with your effect damage, you inflict damage to your opponent equal to the amount of damage you took. So you will special summon Gores out in general and then burn your opponent for damage. So let's say they try to hit you for 1,000, you special summon from your hand and then burn your opponent for the same amount, which can get you out of sticky situations, and it helps you out. If your opponent tries to just attack you directly, you bring out a fat beastly Gores and try to beat him over. Then what the plus side is, in this new Link era, you can use Gores and his token to help you make a Decode Talker and Proxy Dragon. I mean, the list can go on. Next up, good traps to fight the deck. Now, the Trickstar deck is very linear in what it does, which is why a lot of people completely fuse it with decks like Trickstar Wind Witches. But in this video, I'm just going to focus specifically on the Trickstar engine itself. I mean, Wind Witches and that deck in general is just a big cluster of different things to figure out. Generic things could help you out in that type of matchup like Solemn Strikes and etc. But for Trickstar specifically, I would like for you guys to focus on things like Dark Bribe, Lighting Prisoner Mirror, and Hollow Life Barrier. Dark Bribe specifically if you're on a budget and if you're playing a deck that revolves around you trying to go first, like even like a Zodiac, you can set it so on your opponent's turn, if you don't obliterate them and they try to hit you with a Trickstar Reincarnation and or a field spell, you can negate them, and while they do draw a card, you're setting them back behind a turn simply due to the fact that you're negating and disrupting some of their plays. Now, when it comes down to Lighting Prisoner Mirror, it's also another good card effect that has to be activated when it goes first. Very simple: negate all light monster effects activated on the field and or in the graveyard. So it's going to negate the Candia and negate the Lycaris, pretty much allowing you to not get hit with all of their burn effects on the field, which can help you save you against the Trickstar reincarnation. But at the same time, you still will get hit with the field spell, which is why you have another card right here if you're not trying to run Dark Bribe like Hollow Life Barrier. Now the thing about Hollow Life Barrier is pretty much you pitch a card from your hand, and any kind of damage, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below, that you take, whether it's effect damage or attack directly damage, you can just make that 0. So it's just a pretty good card overall to help you out. I remember specifically back in the day, about at least about 4 or 5 years ago, in the hieroglyphic, not hieroglyphic, it was this dragon deck that did burn damage. Hollow Life Barrier was relevant for like a recent format, but for the most part, the card kind of fell out of favor. And it was also good at when Chain Burn was at its peak, because you could pitch after Hollow Life Barrier, and because it's good for dual type of decks that revolve around attacking a lot and try to put in a lot of damage, and just decks that just want to burn you out in general. And last but not least, what I want to talk about is for the Trickstar matchup, because that's not really a lot to go over for this matchup, but I mean, it has to be talked about because this is a deck that I feel once we do get a Yu-Gi-Oh ban list, a lot of players are going to be scrambling the cards together, saying, oh my god, how do I beat this deck? And I know a lot of you guys are going to ask me, so I felt like I might as well get this card out. Not to mention I've already did the Trickstar Explain video, so why not give you a way to how to beat the deck, since I already told you what the deck does and what it's trying to go for. We have random good cards, cards I can just think of off back: Death's Wombat, Thunder King Ryo, and a Fag Veiler. Now, Death's Wombat is efficient to Haniwata, so if you guys are scrambling for Haniwatas and you can't find them, the next best thing is Death's Wombat. If you're on a budget player, you want to go first. It's a 1600 body. Fact pretty much reads any battle damage you take from a card effect becomes 0. Now, his downfall is pretty much if he goes against Candia, you're going to have a hard time because he's at 1800 legs. But with that being said, he combos against Chain Burn, which is pretty good as well. I mean, if you drop Death's Wombat on Chain Burn players, GG no, they're going to just scoop it up. Thunder King Ryo is another card that's pretty much just going to be solid, not only for the Trickstar matchup, but for a lot of other matchups as well. The neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand, except by drawing it, was really powerful. Simply due to the fact that it shuts off Candia, it shuts off the field spell, and while they still would be burning you off, hurting their main search engine, because you're not going to be maxing out terraforming, is really crucial. Then he's a 1900 body, you can run over to Candia, you can run over Lycoris. They're more than likely going to try to link summon on you, and when they do, you can use Thunder King's effect and get your special summon and destroy it. Overall, T-King is just a powerhouse, which is why he's Thunder King, for the reason. And then last but not least, this is coming straight out of the OCG. Effect Veiler, simple effect. During your opponent's main phase, you can send it from your hand to the graveyard, then target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls. Negate that effect. Very simple, very easy, and it combos as a tuner. So once again, if you're playing a synchro-based deck or a synchro track deck, you can use a Fag Veiler and just completely negate your opponent off. Now, this is pretty good to stop your Lycoris, to stop your Candia, to stop the other one that's like level 3, that when you add him, he special summons himself. And while they don't stop the burn effect per se, hurting their damage and hurting their searching power is really crucial. I mean, I guess another honorable mention at this point will be Ghost Ash. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, simply due to the fact that Ghost Ogre specifically can destroy the field spell when a field spell will resolve to try to search, and while they do get their search off, they won't resolve the burning effect off. But overall, guys, the Trickstar deck is not really a lot to worry about, and in the right hands, if you guys have the right cards to play against the deck, you guys can do a damage. So to recap to this video, Fag Veiler, Thunder King Ryo, and Death's Wombat are all good cards that most of you might be having laying around the house. If you guys are lazy and want to pick nothing up, and you guys are on a pretty budget. I mean, T-King's kind of budget, but not really. Good traps to fight the deck if you guys are like trap heavy. If you guys just like using traps and want some variety, Dark Bribe's a good pick. Light Imprisoner Mirror, Hollow Life Barrier is another good pick. And then also, some of the best cards to run, which are hand traps, are some of the best cards in the game. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. I mean, it's a $60 card. I mean, if you don't want to drop 60, you can go ahead and drop $2 or $3 for a Haniwata, probably $5 for the playset. If you're seriously scared of this deck specifically, it can help you out against this and Chain Burn, which is a plus. And then, if you want to try something unique and different, techy, you guys can check out Gore's Demonstrator Darkness, because he can help out with the link summoning. and he can help out stopping you from getting your life points attacked directly. So he overall plays mind games with people, which is why he's a very powerful card, and he's at 3, so why not try him? So this was how to beat the Trickstars, the bidding series episode. For you guys that just watched this video in general, and you guys probably thought certain things would have been on this list that was not on these list of cards to talk about, I would love for you to post that in the comment section down below. And if you guys are new viewers to the channel, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. I'm trying to bring you guys at least 5 to 6 videos a week. So yeah, man, this is Chris from Innovation Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm signing out. Peace, guys, and stay innovative. Deuces.